Happy Monday. Thanks so much for joining us here on 90s Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and well, we've got a couple small things to watch out for this week, and I'll get into those here in just a second. But I think the main takeaway for this week, another just wonderful stretch of beautiful fall weather ahead for us here along the Front Range. So let's start things off by taking a look outside, because this is where what we've been seeing for really the last, 24 hours, 48 hours or so, going back to a kind of cloudy, cool Friday. This has been the scene here along the Front Range. A lot of sunny skies and comfortable temperatures. Very, very nice weather. And again, that will continue for the majority of this upcoming week. Now, I mentioned there are a couple small things to watch for in the upcoming forecast, and specifically, I think tonight we do turn a bit breezy. That could lead to some fairly gusty conditions for us in the foothills, maybe up to 50-mile-an-hour winds, maybe in some localized places, some of those typically windier spots closer to 60 miles an hour. But for most of us here along the Front Range in the urban corridor, we're going to be talking about 30 to 40-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow, mainly during the morning hours. And then we got a chance for some frost on Thursday. Those will be the two main things to kind of watch out for as we head through the next few days. HD Doppler radar not showing a whole heck of a lot out there. We've got maybe a few fair weather clouds over the mountains. We're kind of in between storm systems right now, so again, we're mainly dry, very tranquil for us on this Monday, and we expect that to continue as we head into tomorrow morning as well. Temperatures already fairly mild out there, 68 for us here in Denver. Ray, hot spot there, already 79. Not sure that's entirely accurate. Seems a little high to me, but wouldn't be totally surprised. Maybe we got a little localized wind burst out there that's propped up those temperatures to near 80 in Ray, but in the mountains as usual, a little bit on the cooler side, 40s and 50s for us here on this Monday morning. Now, the story for us today, again, it is beautiful, 74 degrees and sunshine. I'll say one thing as well. I got a lot of comments yesterday and throughout the weekend saying that, well, we've got a nice week of weather coming on up and to go outside and enjoy it. And I got some pushback saying, well, you know, we've got a lot of dry weather, and that's not necessarily great that we've got all this dry weather in terms of A, the drought, and B, also in terms of the fact that, of course, part of this may be a result of a warming climate. And with that in mind, I would say this: we've had a fair bit of moisture lately, so and it's also a fairly dry time of year, and this is fairly typical for this time of year. We're a few degrees above average, but our average high for today is 68. So we're talking about temperatures in the mid-70s here, folks. I would just say go outside and enjoy the sunshine. There's not a whole lot in the way of fire weather concerns or the drought. We've seen some pretty significant improvement in the last few months. So when we're talking about temperatures like these, you know, it's a beautiful time of year. We've got a lot of sunshine. Honestly here, folks, I know that there are, and you know, I talk about a warming climate all the time. There's no doubt that it's happening, and that it's a huge, huge problem. But sometimes I think it's best to just enjoy the nice weather. This is not, you know, every mild day or every sunny day is not the product of a warming climate. What we're looking at today here, folks, long-winded point here, just enjoy it. It's beautiful outside, and we don't get too many days during the year that are as comfortable and as sunny as what we're looking at today. Zero rain chances. I mean, it's just spectacular weather. So again, I'll tell you when to be maybe concerned about it being too dry for too long of a time period, but today and this week, it's not really one of those time stretches. This is an average weather forecast for the middle part of October. It's a beautiful time of year here, so get outside and enjoy it. Now, as we head through the overnight hours and into early tomorrow morning, one thing to watch out for, we do have probably a little bit in the way of some elevated fire weather concerns in the foothills. It has been dry, and or at least over the last 3-4 days or so, and we do have some fairly gusty winds, and those could, here in the Denver area, kick up to maybe 25 to 30 miles an hour for us tomorrow during the early afternoon. Then those winds really die back down pretty quickly during the evening hours tomorrow on your Tuesday. Close look in here at the foothills, and this is the area that's probably going to be the windiest as we head through the next 24 hours or so. The foothills could see some gusts here up to 50, 55 miles an hour. Again, some of the typical foothill areas, we do get a bit of a weak mountain wave that will lead to that potential for some of those gusts getting on up into the 45, 50 mile an hour range in some of those, again, main foothill locations. Tomorrow, temperatures even warmer than today. It does turn a bit cloudier during the afternoon. Temperatures into the mid-70s for us. That's getting close to 10 degrees above average for this time of year. And notice those winds, bottom left-hand side of your screen, at 10 to 30 miles per hour. So again, it will be noticeably windy the further west you go in the metro area. Boulder, Golden, Morrison, Evergreen. That's where we're going to be talking about those winds as usual. On the highest side, a few spots, wouldn't be surprised if we touch 80 in a few areas around the metro area tomorrow. Most of us, though, staying in the mid to maybe upper 70s for those high temperatures for tomorrow afternoon. And we do get a weak front that drops on through that. Out ahead of that front is what's going to kick up those winds, and then we'll see maybe a stray shower for us in northern Colorado. These are going to be high-based showers, which means you kind of see these big, dark, ominous clouds. But you don't really get a whole lot of rain from these, and I don't think we're going to end up with much, if any, rainfall from this tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening, but we'll leave the slightest of rain shower chances in the forecast for tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Again, 99% of us will be dry, and then that forecast is, well, 99% dry over the course of the next 7 days. I did mention that we got to watch out for the potential for some frost on Thursday morning. I do think we'll be getting close. Wouldn't be surprised if we knock back these temperatures a little bit for Thursday morning. Notice that 39. Once we start getting around 35, 36, that's when we see that potential for frost. And by the way, the reason, even though that's above freezing, of course, the freezing mark is 32 degrees, but where temperatures are measured at just above the surface, that's where we'll be talking about the temperatures in the maybe mid to upper 30s. Right at the surface is where it tends to be the coldest, right at the surface itself. So that's what can allow that frost to form, even when just above the surface. It's 35, 36, a little bit below that, right at, say, the area where you've got grass or plants. That's when it tends to be about 3 to 4 degrees colder. So that's why, again, 35, 36 degrees in terms of actual air temperature. At the surface, it's right around freezing. That's why we tend to see frost forming when the air temperature is 35, 36. So hopefully that explains that slight bit of a discrepancy. Another thing to watch out for, well, not really watch out for, but today, well, last night was our last 6:30 sunset of the year. I know, we will not have a 6:30 or later sunset until March the 12th. So hopefully you enjoyed that 6:30 or later sunset last night. And then our average first measurable snowfall date in Denver is just 8 days away, though we do not have anything remotely close to any sort of snow chances as we head over the next 8 days here in Denver, or in the mountains, maybe a little bit of light mountain snow on Wednesday, but it doesn't look like we're going to get much in the way of any snow, even on up into the mountains. We do get a weak secondary front on Wednesday, maybe leads to a little bit of light snow, and so in the northern mountains, way up there, that's pretty much it. So very tranquil forecast, I'll say that. As we head over the next little whiles, we've got a lot of sunshine, temperatures on the mild side, and yes, we certainly could use some rain, but I would say mostly just enjoy the nice weather. We've got great weather. It's a wonderful time of year. Enjoy the beautiful sunshine and temperatures in the 60s and 70s for the next 7 days. Meteorologist Keely Chalmers will have an update coming up for you at 9 News at noon, and then meteorologist Danielle Grant will have updates at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News Family of Networks. Once again, I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus, and have a great rest of your Monday.